Check. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Society Hall. It's a great night to be at Society Hall, I can guarantee you. So appreciate you being here. My name is Don Richmond. I'm one of the board members, and I sometimes can be found playing along with some of these people. It's not a requirement that you let me play. I just want to be clear about that. But sometimes they're friends coming through, and I get to pick along a little bit. Just want to make a few announcements about some shows coming up here. October 15th, John Chandler, who is a wonderful Western-oriented singer-songwriter from the Denver area, just big guy with this great big voice. I mean, he's a great entertainer, great storyteller. He's actually one of those Western singers that is also an author, a very successful author, and so he's just got the storytelling thing coming out all over. Anyway, it'll be a great night. That's October 15th. October 28th, my friend Robin James is doing a CD release party here. Robin is one of the truly one of the most amazing vocalists you'll ever hear. She's a Valley girl, San Luis Valley resident, and you don't get to hear her play all that often. But it'll be a sweet night to be here, and I'll be helping her as well as some other musicians. It'll be a whole band kind of thing. And November 6th, there's going to be the San Luis Valley Cancer Relief Fund concert. That is generally an annual event. We didn't have it last year because of COVID and all that, but it's sort of a song swap between usually three people. This year it's just going to be Eliza Gilkison and me. But it will be a sweet evening, I guarantee it. I'm the cancer survivor poster child, so I get to come and play, But anyway, it's really a lovely evening, and Eliza, she's just a mesmerizing performer, and you definitely want to be here for that. And there'll be some other shows coming up. There's an SLV theater production on the 12th and 13th. But anyway, it's all on the website of societyhall.org if you want to check that out. And there's just cool things happening. And just want to thank you all for your support and keeping them happening, because it doesn't happen without you all being here. So, but tonight, what a pleasure. Been looking forward to this one for a long time. Susan Gibson is both a dear friend and just a wonderful singer-songwriter. We were fortunate, I was fortunate to be able to do a recording with her a few years ago. And she's got a bunch of great albums, great songs. You might have heard one of them, even if you haven't heard Susan, you might have heard this little ditty called Wide Open Spaces that the Dixie Chicks sold, 17 million of or something like that. Well, Susan wrote that song. But she's written a couple hundred that are just as good, too, so we get to hear a lot of them tonight. But please welcome Susan Gibson.
Thanks, everybody. What a treat to be here. I've been saying this a lot lately, that you guys really have one of the best things going here at Society Hall and in your town in general. I'm not on tour right now. I'm actually just making my way home from being up in Montana for the last 4 months. And I was talking to a friend. She said it's still 89 degrees and very humid down in Texas. So I'm going to play my best, and hopefully somebody will ask me to move in with them at the end of tonight. It's a big
Susan,
ask.
you want to move in with us?
Yeah. Cool, we can go now. Well, thanks in advance to Rob back there on the sound. It is such a joy to play in this space with someone that's listening so carefully. And thanks to Don. for hooking me up with this sweet gig and playing all the exciting parts tonight. I like to say, it feels so weird. I haven't played a gig standing up in a long time, you guys. I've been easing into it with like song swaps where you play about every 18 minutes. You play a song, you sit there and you listen to the other people play. And so I'm going to start how I usually do, which is a song called The Second Hand. This is a reminder to me to stay in this moment. Don't think about the long drive ahead or wonder if I put the lid on the beef jerky in the car where my dogs are right now. I'm not even going to think about that.
Slow and steady death. That's the trouble with my free will. It leaves me gasping for my last breath. How I procrastinate. I could always let it slide. I hope it isn't too late to change course before it all collides. Toss out a few seeds. Stop trying to figure out which birds I'm gonna feed. Already living in the promised land. The clock is ticking. God is in the second hand. Everything changes, and it changes everything. It's been a nuclear winter, and I'm ready for the spring. But I'm like a glacier. My progress has been slow. Now I'm busting up the bedrock till something melts the snow. Hold a hand out. Toss out a few seeds. Stop trying to figure out which birds I'm gonna feed. Already living in the promised land. The clock is ticking. God is in the second hand. Time is water covering the planet. It's the oceans cutting through the granite. Like the tide, it never stops. But if I'm gonna savor every single drop, I better hold a hand out. Toss out a few seeds. Stop trying to figure out which birds I'm gonna feed. Already living in the promised land. And the clock is ticking. God is in the second hand. In the second hand. In the second hand.
Thank you so much. Don, I'd say you are in rare form, but I've never heard you sound anything but spectacular.
Well, thank you, Susan.
Come on, applause is cheap, you guys. Doesn't cost you a thing. I put out a record in October of 2019, and this song's on it. It's called Diagnostic Heart. I was doing a songwriting workshop, and when I was trying to illustrate the limitless creativity that abounds everywhere. I was using the example of just eavesdropping on the people around you so that you can hear what they're saying, and then you take that and you write a song about it. It's kind of a pro tip. And I heard this gal use the phrase diagnostic heart. And so I gave that as a songwriting prompt, and all the people at the workshop went home and they wrote their little verses or a line or a chorus or a verse and a chorus or whatever they wrote, starting from the idea of the phrase diagnostic heart. And when we all got back together, and everybody kind of shared these brand new seedlings of songs. So I asked, sometimes you get a good start, you're inspired, and that second verse is kind of hard to get. And so I asked the gal, okay, so what were you talking about when you said diagnostic heart? And she kind of looked at me blankly, and I said, come on now, I mean, it might inspire us to finish these little seedlings, And she said, well, I don't think I used the phrase diagnostic heart. I think I said I had had an agnostic start, and which again reinforces the limitlessness of creativity. You can completely misunderstand it and still get something. A diagnostic heart, cold and analytic love. I see the symptoms, read the charts, sterile hands and rubber gloves. Been too long in quarantine, I need some intensive care. Disconnect me from machines. Let's have a messy love affair. This terminal immunity from your infectious laughter. It's a patient kind of privacy that kills happy ever after. I begged, do not resuscitate, and I didn't want your life support, but your heart didn't hesitate heal my diagnostic heart. According to Hippocrates, first do no harm. Casual affairs yield casualties. The first to go, my diagnostic heart. A miracle, a paradox. It takes two different heartbeats, kinda like a pair of socks will warm a pair of cold feet. And circulation is the key. And pressure builds and tears apart. A surge right through my circuitry. Bypass my diagnostic heart.
according to Hippocrates. First do no harm. Casual affairs yield casualties. The first to go, my diagnostic heart. The first to go, my diagnostic heart. Thank you. I wonder what would the contraption look like that would allow you to just have all of those things hooked to your body at all times, to where you could just pivot.
It's a recording studio. I think.
Yeah, it's a building. That was lovely. Bless you. Well, this is kind of an old tune. I know exactly how old it is because I wrote it when my niece was 6. And she's 23 now. When she was 6, she lost her first tooth, and she said, I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I've had this tooth my whole life. And in that moment, I realized I'd been doing everything backwards. I was working as hard as I could to get as much as I could and hang on to it as tightly as I could. And, you know, my advice to her was going to be, well, you got to just let some things go. And it felt so hypocritical. Because as we go through the evening tonight, you'll notice this. If you're keeping score, that girl doesn't let anything go. She doesn't let anything go. Anyway, I think we all write these songs for ourselves anyway. This is called Baby Teeth. You're such a silly girl and such a wise old woman. You think you can fix this world with rubber bands and bubble gum. You're gonna see it all from your high-top tennis shoes. Days when you're in the pink, days in your skinned-up blues. You got some worn-out blues. Sometimes it hurts to grow, sometimes it's such a relief. When you gotta give up what you got to get what you need. Those are just your baby teeth. Those are just your baby teeth. Those are just your baby teeth. You've got some big blue eyes, they don't miss a thing. You're known for your smart mouth and a smile like butterfly wings. You've got a way with words, you got your song and dance. You could wear your party dress, you could wear your camouflage pants. Yeah, you know you wear the pants. You've got a heart of gold, it shines just like a sunny day. Save a little bit for yourself, don't give it all away. 'Cause sometimes it hurts to grow, sometimes it's such a relief. When you gotta give up what you got to get what you need. Those are just your baby teeth. 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 You're the queen of all you see. Rule on high from your beanbag chair. No flowers on the wall. You got the dirt and the flowers right in your hair. Your hair. Sometimes it hurts to grow. Sometimes it's such a relief. When you gotta give up what you got to get what you need. Sometimes you gotta wiggle it loose. Sometimes it gets knocked clean out. Making room for a brand new tooth in that little bitty hole in your mouth. Those are just your baby teeth. 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 Baby teeth. Baby teeth. Your baby teeth.
Yeah, you need to write a sequel to that, all about implants. I don't know how it would come out, but Instead of getting money under your pillow, you have to pay $6,000.
Yeah.
I know that much.
It's like, you should have been saving, kid, when you lost all those teeth in your youth. You should have been saving up for your implants.
Nah, it might not work.
Let's do one called Upon Reentry.
Oh yeah, that could be another ambient guitar thing.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. So this is called Upon Reentry. I got to write this with a guy named Billy Burnett. And I hadn't done a lot of co-writing in Nashville at the time. That was kind of where all this was happening. And I didn't know this, but a lot of times what happens in a co-writing session when you're hooked up together by a publisher or something, the publisher's like the Chuck Woolery of the blind dating game. And you go in and you talk for a little bit and try to see if you can get a song going. And this was right after the Columbia space shuttle was on its way back, and if you remember, they didn't make it home. They made it close enough to home where we saw them not make it home. And if you were anywhere between Central Texas and Florida, you could see that outside if you looked outside. And it just seemed even more tragic that it was not something we would see through a telescope or hear about on a news story. So this is called Upon Reentry. We strive to fly so high, find that hole up in the sky. Along the ride, you live and learn. Coming home, a safe return upon reentry. A million miles away from home, out of
touch and drifting all alone. Everyone just waits for your next move. Everyone is looking up at you upon re-entry. A star lighting up the universe. Have you forgotten who you were before you were a star? A star defying all gravity. But when you're falling, everyone can see that you were a star. Getting there took all you had. Didn't leave enough to even get you back. What goes up, it surely must come down. You hit hard on hallowed ground upon re-entry. A star lighting up the universe. Have you forgotten who you were before you were a star? A star defying all gravity. When you're falling, everyone can see that you were a star. Everyone can see that you were a star. Stacy, good.
Beautiful, Susan.
Cheers, everybody. Was that real slow? Do I need another drink of coffee? It was pretty slow.
What's that?
I feel like I did that real slow. Is that pretty slow? All right. God, how needy am I? I'm like, you clapped for the damn song. I mean, what more do I need? I got to get your individual opinions on, like, what was your favorite part of that song? All right. It's Friday night. I'm totally playing like it's Tuesday afternoon, and it's Friday night. Most people think that I'm drowning off the deep end, splashing around. Maybe that's just the way I swim. That's the kind of shape I'm in, yeah. So you throw me a rope, I think you're trying to tie me down. Did you feed me a line just so you could reel me in, just to throw me back again? Would you hurry up and throw me back again? Even water jumps from a comfortable cloud, for crying out loud, for crying out loud, for just a moment of individuality, till it hits the ground and washes out to sea. 100 times I've fallen from grace. It has never been a graceful fall, and all the while it felt like a swan dive. Turns out it was a cannonball, cannonball. I want to work without a net. I don't want to hit the ground. Who's a net? So I'm flapping both my arms. You think I'm trying to flag you down? You know a net is a trap, it's a body bag when you're trying to swim around. But even water jumps from a comfortable cloud, for crying out loud, for crying out loud, for just a moment of individuality, till it hits the ground and washes out to sea. The 101 ways to treat an A chord. Some folks are into giving ultimatums. Sorry, Don. Either you love them or you hate them. Maybe I like the shades of gray. It reminds me of a rainy day, but not today. Even water jumps from a comfortable cloud, for crying out loud, for crying out loud, for just a moment of individuality, till it hits the ground and washes out to sea. Even water jumps from a comfortable cloud, for crying out loud, for crying out loud, for just a moment of individuality, till it hits the ground and washes out to sea. Good job, man. Thanks, you guys. All right. Now back to the slow one, because I have to catch my breath after that one. All right. So, this is a song called Wildflowers in the Weeds. I forgot about that, Rob. And, you know, I got sober 11 years ago. And when I got sober... Oh, why, thank you. and where's my parade? You know, that's what I'm talking about. And when I got sober, you know, I live by myself and I don't have any children, and I kind of had that, well, I'm only hurting myself kind of mentality. And then I had a friend a couple years ago that had to get sober, and that hurt so, it hurt so much to watch her before she tried to get sober. And I realized she had also had this I'm only hurting myself mentality, and it was very clarifying for me. And so I wrote this song called Wildflowers in the Weeds.
Terry thinks she is cursed or the fruit of unlucky genetics, 'cause there are laws in the universe that govern the earthly and etheric. All she needs is one clean break in her heart or her bad habits to really hunger for something before she reaches out to grab it. As above, so below, Terry reaps what she sows. 40 seasons since she's planted any seeds. In between winter and spring hides a secret of every living thing, and she's looking for the wildflowers in the weeds. It's the law of polarity. Every action has an inverse reaction. Terry believes in posterity, not the law of attraction. So she keeps them to herself, all her dreams and her desires of love and luck and health, afraid of the action faith requires. In her backward little town, east is west and up is down. Gravity, it is the only constant creed. Prayers move slower than the speed of sound, fall from her lips straight to the ground, where they germinate like wildflowers in the weeds. She looks at the classifieds, she looks at the internet. If only changing was as easy as changing the channels on her TV set. She looks at her horoscope, she looks at the almanac, she looks at the Bible in the big book, looking for a needle in a haystack. Terry's putting down some roots, she's digging down below the surface, solving for the absolutes. She goes to work with a purpose. And Terry finds a piece of land, a quarter acre is more than she needs to feel the soil in her hands. She waters the wildflowers in the weeds.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Uh-oh. Watch out now. All right. Well, I didn't want to have to do this to you. Everybody step back 2 paces. I said earlier when we got here today, it's every sound man's dream to have 2 banjos on stage and only 1 banjo player, which is, what a pity. Let's do a 8 by 10. We'll do 8 by 10. This is so I have been gone for 4 months, and I have a guy named Jay. I call him my common law redneck husband. He might be homeless except for the times when he's watching my cats. Then I think he's living in my house. And that's fine. He called today when I was at Don and Terry's house to tell me that some raccoons had busted into my house and ate all the cat food. And that's not a big deal. But it was really expensive cat food. But I have this little space where I have my mom's piano. That was the only thing I actually cared about. I was afraid that the raccoons would have chewed the legs on the piano or something. You know how raccoons get. And that piano is kind of special. It was my mom's piano. She and her sisters bought it with their 4-H money after they sold sheep. They went and bought this little baby grand piano. Those must have been some sheep. And my mom was a piano teacher when she was a young woman, and even when she was an old woman, she was a piano teacher, which means every kid in our neighborhood learned how to play piano except for me and my sister. And she would say, hey, do you want to have a lesson? And we'd be like, you know, Mom, the Love Boat's on. I don't want to miss the Love Boat. And so I never learned how to play piano. And but I do have really vivid memories of sitting with my mom. You know, she read music and everything, and sitting with my mom on the piano bench, and I would get to be the page turner. And of course, I didn't read music, but I could kind of keep up, because if her fingers were moving really fast, then I just looked for the spot on the page where all the black dots were really close together, and then that would kind of cue me as to where we are. And she'd give me the big nod, you know, to turn the page. And those were good memories. I remember her, you know, me saying, Mom, how do you know, all those buttons look the same. How do you keep them, you know, keep track of all of them? And she said, well, first, they're not called buttons, Susan. They're called keys. And second, you don't have to know where all of them are. You just have to know how to find middle C. And if you can find middle C, you can find every other note on the piano. And that felt like it applied to more things than just the piano. So she was kind of a middle C for me. And I really, really wanted to write this song on the piano, but I really, really wanted to write this song before the year 2030. And so I wrote it on the banjo, which I also do not play that well. But it is in the key of C, and so that feels important to me, you know. So this is called 8 by 10. In the still and silent morning, that's when I miss you most. Cardinals welcome in the sunrise. It sounds so sweet, I'd spread it on my toast. And I put syrup on my cornbread. I like cheese on apple pie. It's the way you always did it. I never thought to ask you why.
when cutting cards. Find that thing that you love doing. Then work hard, you work real hard. Take the third when singing duets. Take the fifth when you need to lie. It's the way you always did it. I never thought to ask you why. I miss your cool hand on my fever, your voice a long distance call, trying to remember every single lesson. I got your pictures on my wall. 8x10 happy memories under glass inside a frame. There's a candle lit beside you, your eyes dancing in the flame. There you're staring at the camera with your Mona Lisa smile. It's the way you always did it. I never thought to ask you why. I miss your cool hand on my fever, your voice a long distance call, trying to remember every single blessing. I got your pictures on my wall, trying to remember every single blessing. I got your pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember what time we started? How you guys doing? Can we do a song or two?
7:33.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we do two
do a little.
sets?
What's that?
You do two sets?
That's the usual. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do like two more,
Okay.
and then we'll give y'all a little break. And
Got to give them a chance to eat cookies and drink wine. You know.
yeah, that's right.
It's this Society Hall special.
Let's do Evergreen. Want to? So, y'all are familiar with Michael Hearn's Barn Dance Weekend. What a splendid way to hear music. And I love that festival. I haven't been there for a couple years. So if I'm rusty on this song, it's because I haven't had a chance to sing it at the barn dance in a couple years with you and Michael. But I love this song. I think of this song, that when you write with other people, sometimes you don't know exactly what every line means because you didn't come up with every line, and you don't know how that thought found its way into your brain. And so this song took me a little while to learn, for one, and a little while to get familiar with it and have it and have an understanding of it for myself. Mostly I got it through people coming up and telling me what it meant to them. And that's a very cool way to get to know one of your songs. But I think about it when we're in a part of the country where leaves actually change color. We don't get that where I live down in Texas, and I really miss it. So thank you all for sharing your beautiful season with the passers through. And this is called Evergreen.
Just when I think I'm gone, something brings me back as my train of thought slips off the track. Feeling my way through crossways and blind. I guess it's what you seek, not what you find. Now, I don't mind things that don't matter these days. Time I've spent on worry never pays. Leaves are changing from green to gold, so I'll change with them. I'll be so bold. Vivid colored dreams, nothing's what it seems. I've turned inside out, then back again. But I'm stuck out on this limb, dancing with the wind. How I long to be evergreen. So I'm 10 years lost in strange scenery, like an old dust devil chasing round a tumbleweed. I tried to lay down roots so I could just stay there. I blew out my candle and prayed a little prayer. I don't mind things that don't matter these days. Time I spend on worry never pays. Leaves are changing from green to gold, so I'll change with them. I'll be so bold. Vivid colored dreams, nothing's what it seems. I've turned inside out, then back again. But I'm stuck out on this limb, dancing with the wind. How I long to be evergreen. I really can't complain. I've enjoyed the ride. Just 'cause I'm running doesn't mean I'm hiding. But this wanderlust puts me off the map. I follow my heart till it brought me back. Now, I don't mind things that don't matter these days. Time I spent on worry never pays. Leaves are changing from green to gold, so I'll change with them. I'll be so bold. Vivid colored dreams, nothing's what it seems. I've turned inside out, then back again. But I'm stuck out on this limb, dancing with the wind. How I long to be evergreen. How I long to be evergreen. Evergreen. Y'all, Mr. Don Richmond.
Susan Gibson.
Okay, let's do the big game.
Okay.
We'll end there. We'll let that one hang in the air. Y'all are like, wow, that is a very strange song to end her first set with. This wonky tuning. So, I've been writing for a little over 20 years, songs, that is. I mean, I've been writing since kindergarten, if we want to be truthful about it. But I don't have very many love songs. And so I was really wanting to write a love song. I think we just can't have too many of them. There just can't be enough love songs in this world. If we had more love songs, maybe we'd get along better, And so this was my attempt. Hey, there's people standing outside. You should come on in. Come on in. You're going to want to hear this song. Come on in. I'm just kidding. You don't want to hear this song. You might want to wait till the next set when we do our good songs. This was supposed to be a love song, I'll tell you. And you shoot for the moon and you hit the stars. That's all I'm going to say about this. It's called The Big Game. Thanks for coming in. We'll take a quick break after this for wine and cookies. And just cookies for me, thanks. And but all of them, please. And this is called The Big Game. Tried every single word in the book, like love and hate, like now and wait. Anything to get you on that hook. It's not a trap, just 'cause it's bait. Maybe I need a Webster's dictionary, something to expand my vocabulary. Got a million tricks up my sleeve, my sleight of hand, don't need no wedding band. Anything to make you believe the smoke and mirrors, they ain't contraband. Maybe I need some tips from Penn and Teller, or the spell to turn me into Cinderella. You got me holding out a little hope, your saltwater smile, you little crocodile. You're in the crosshairs of my scope. I've been holding my breath for quite a little while. I tend to shoot before I aim. Maybe I wasn't cut out for the big game, but but the only thing I know of love is the thrill of the chase. Y'all, that's Mr. Don Richmond right there, making everything better.
Susan Gibson, we'll be right back. Susan, did you bring any CDs and things like that?
I packed them too deep. They're too deep.
Oh, well, you'll have to buy them online then. But anyway, we'll be back in just a few, so stick around if you can.
Oh, God. I'd have to dig them out under the food processor and the... All your stuff. All
Stood there boldly, sweating in the sun. Felt like a million, felt like number one. The height of summer, I'd never felt that strong, like a rock. I was 18, didn't have a care, working for peanuts, not a dime to spare. But I was leaning, solid everywhere, like a rock. My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, my steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. I stood arrow straight, unencumbered by the weight of all these hustlers and their schemes. I stood proud, I stood tall, high above it all. I still believed in my dreams.
Sound of the river, you stop and you hold everything. A band is blowing Dixie, double fall time. You feel alright when you hear the music ring. Well, now you step inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition in other places. But the horns, they blowing that sound. Way on down south. Way on down south, London town. Check out Guitar George. He knows all the chords. But it's strictly rhythm, he doesn't wanna make it cry or sing. If then an old guitar is all he can afford, when he gets up under the lights to play his thing. And Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make the scene. He's got a daytime job, he's doing alright. He can play the honky-tonk like anything, saving it up Friday night with the Sultans, with the Sultans of Swing. And a crowd of young boys, they're fooling around in the corner, drunk and dressed in their best brown baggies in their platform soles. They don't give a damn about any trumpet playing band. It ain't what they call rock and roll. And the Sultans, yeah, the Sultans, they play Creole. Creole. And then the man he steps right up to the microphone and says at last, just as the time bell rings, good night, now it's time to go home. Then he makes it fast with one more thing. We are the Sultans. We are the Sultans of Swing.
feel so bad, I got a worried mind. I'm so lonesome all the time. Since I left my baby behind on Blue Bayou. Saving nickels, saving dimes, working till the sun don't shine, looking forward to happier times on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, come what may, to Blue Bayou, where the folks are fine and the world is mine on Blue Bayou, where those fishing boats with their sails afloat, if I could only see that familiar sunrise through sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be. Wanna see my baby again, wanna be with some of my friends, maybe I'll feel better again on Blue Bayou. Saving nickels, saving dimes, working till the sun don't shine, looking forward to happy times on Blue Bayou. I'm going back someday, come what may, to Blue Bayou, where the folks are fine and the world is mine on Blue Bayou, where those fishing boats with their sails afloat, if I could only see that familiar sunrise through sleepy eyes, how happy I'd be. Oh, that boy of mine by
when I met you there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside, there was something going on. You do something to me that I can't explain. Hold me closer and I feel no pain. Every beat of my heart, we got something going on. Tender love is blind, it requires a dedication. All this love we feel needs no conversation. We ride it together, making love with each other. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other. From one lover to another. I can't live without you if the love was gone. Everything is nothing if you got no.
How was your break? How was your break?
I didn't get to the cookies. Other than
Oh, I didn't get any cookies either, but Mary got me a cup of coffee, and it is delicious.
So how was the break? You know, there's just far too many good people to talk to. You know, that's the proverbial good problem to have. You know, I think. Thank you all for being here and sticking around. And I'm gonna grab a bottle of water.
Okay. Oh,
Stay.
your fiddle is trying to follow you. Well, it's great to be back here in Alamosa again. Thanks for sticking around. I've said this to you before, but I think, you know, if people show up, that is just such a measure of success. And if they stay, given the chance to leave, that's another measure of success. So thank you for staying. We're going to start with a song called The Hard Stuff. That was the title of the album that I put out in October of 2019, oh, so long ago. And I wrote this song after my sister. I have an older sister, and she tagged me in a Facebook post. She's pretty direct, and she tagged me in a Facebook post, and the post was a picture of John Wayne, and the caption was a quote of John Wayne that said, "Life is hard, it's harder when you're dumb." And I thought, that is pretty subtle for my sister. So this is the song I wrote, and I tag her in it every time I play it in front of an audience. How about that? Every 7 years, your black cats and broken mirrors reach their expiration date. Every 7 years, you get a brand new body, 'cause your cells, they regenerate. Every 7 years, you get the 7-year itch, 'cause you need a little change of scene. Don't just scratch the surface, gotta dig a little deeper. See, you're living in this world like it's a pinball machine. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna push your little buttons? Send you rocketing into the abyss. 'Cause when you're gone, you're long gone, honey, and you don't leave a trace or a change of address. But if you're gonna be stupid, you better be tough. Quit looking for loopholes and get to the hard stuff. If your excuses don't kill you, I guess you're strong enough to stick it out. Stick it out, I guess you'll stick it out.
but you know that you'll never really make an escape. Not even if you walk a mile in Hermes tennis shoes or borrow one of Superman's capes. But that's the funny thing, the tragic thing about our fear, we take it with us everywhere we go. Gotta turn around and face it face to face. You gotta shake it by the collar, smack it smack dab square in the nose. Confrontation, resignation, sweet salvation, hell, damnation. Either way it's difficult, but if you keep doing the same old thing, you're gonna get the same result. But if you're gonna be stupid, you better be tough. Quit looking for loopholes and get to the hard stuff. If that doesn't kill you, I guess you're strong enough to stick it out. Stick it out. I guess you'll stick it out. You'll never get anywhere leaving well enough alone. Nothing lifts a heavy heart like some elbow grease and a funny bone. Between the worry and regret, you're stuck there in the middle. Can't take it anymore. I guess you gotta give a little. Oh, oh, oh. If you're gonna be stupid, you better be tough. Quit looking for loopholes and get through the hard stuff. And if that doesn't kill you, I guess you're strong enough to stick it out. Stick it out. I guess you'll stick it out.
That was great, Don. Well. I'm going to consider that a request that you made, Greg. Back in April of 2020, I have a friend that has a little organization called Songs for the Soul. And pre-COVID, she was pairing songwriters with like long-term care nurses and oncology nurses, and because there's a thing called compassion fatigue, and where people who are taking care of someone else maybe don't take quite good care of themselves. And so it was pairing these folks together and letting the nurse tell her story or a story, or talk about a patient that they had that really affected them, and a way to get that reflected back to them. And the songwriter would go and write a song about it and play it for the nurse, and the goal being healing places that sometimes are hard to reach. And so she invited a whole bunch of songwriters that are around the Austin area to write songs for the COVID healthcare workers, the people that are really carrying this on their backs. And so, that was right around the time that we were hearing stories about the nurses taping pictures of themselves, their smiling faces on their uniforms and stuff, because they were so masked up that it was hard to have any kind of eye contact, or you couldn't touch them, and that's just it's hard to heal when you can't get that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is a song called Compassionate Combat, and I I got to, it was kind of cool. A guy named Cole Edmondson that works for this nursing staffing agency funded a video for it, and so I didn't get to go to the barn dance this year, but they did a presentation for the first responders and frontline workers, and they played this video that we made, and so it felt good to kind of be a part of that. But this is called Compassionate Combat. You're used to giving. Did you hear a call, or were you driven to service for your whole life? Do you put yourself in danger? Do you risk it all to help a stranger? Well, the nurses, they don't think twice. And we ask so much of you. Leave your families and your homes for the work you've got to do. You are the miracle, the gift, pulling 18-hour shifts of compassionate combat. How do you thank someone for that? You get to your task, an angel in a homemade mask. You got your picture taped on your gown. Machines for ventilation. Human beings need more than medication, and there's no sign of slowing down. And we ask so much of you. You are a marvelous machine. You got your bedside manners too. You are a miracle, the gift, pulling 20-hour shifts of compassionate combat. How do you thank someone for that?
Yeah, what a great song.
Thanks, you guys. It is, yeah. Yeah. Good. You're good. So we made a website that's just compassionatecombat.com. And it's kind of cool. It's a place for nurses to tell their stories or to be recognized. There's some kind of cool conversations that we had, that I got to have with some of the nurses, and then Cole, who is the staffing guy. Like, he's like, when there's a hot spot somewhere, he's sending nurses to those places. And so they got skin in the game, I'll tell you. And that is still active. Yes, thank you for bringing that up. Okay, so this is, I haven't recorded this song yet, but I think they're recording in the back, so then after tonight I won't be able to say this. This is a song, it's in the key of E, and I call it, Well, My God, and I'm trying to get it into the Methodist hymnal books. I don't know if it's gonna happen. My God smokes, but he's trying to quit. 2-pack a day, a lucky strike habit. At the dawn of time, he started using sunscreen. He just can't quit the nicotine. My God, oh, my God is trying to lose a couple of pounds. Cut out the carbs, but he hasn't lost an ounce. He burns a lot of calories answering prayers. Back and forth to heaven, he always takes the stairs. He knows the trouble of all us little humans. Half the sorrow, twice the joy. We're not some ant farm for his amusement that he created to destroy. I like to make him laugh just to hear the sound, and I think he likes hanging around. My God, oh my God, my God, my God. My God is saving for a new used car. Low miles with a few spare parts. He likes the sound of gravel underneath the tires on a farm-to-market road with no telephone wires. My God is paying off a credit card. Making monthly payments shouldn't be so hard. Every 2 years the cost of living inflates. If he had better credit, he'd get better interest rates. He knows the trouble of all us little humans. Half the sorrow, twice the joy. We're not some ant farm for his amusement that he created to destroy. He paints it red every time he hits the town, and I think he likes hanging around. Watches trash TV, Real Housewives season 1, 2, and 3. Sitting on the couch with a bowl of cornflakes,
changing out the laundry in the commercial breaks. My God likes to play video games, shoot 'em up and watch 'em go down in flames. Atari, Xbox, PlayStation. He don't like the violence, but he loves the animation. He knows the trouble of all us little humans. Half the sorrow, twice the joy. Here we're not some ant farm for his amusement that he created to destroy. I never walked on water, I need him here on the ground, and I think he likes hanging around.
Good job on that, Don. All right. Well, let's do Together Strong. Want to?
Absolutely. Love that song.
I'm always waiting for a time when I say, well, let's do this song. You want to, Don? And he's like, no, I've never really liked that song. No, I don't think I'm going to play. I'm going to sit this one out. This is a love song of sorts. Actually, yeah, it's a pretty love song. And if you are sitting next to somebody that you've been sitting next to for a long, long time, this is a love song for you. Two folks living together. He's an oak and she's a cedar. Over time they've intertwined. She tried to choke him out. Now he needs her. They need sun. They need rain. And each other's help to gain the strength enough to bend or else they'll break. They need room enough to grow and the courage to get too close. Alone they won't last long, but together strong. Deep roots below the surface. It's the only way they can survive. Without the roots, the branches are worthless. She should have killed him, and she keeps him alive. They need sun, they need rain, and each other's help to gain the strength enough to bend or else they'll break. They need room enough to grow and the courage to get too close. Alone they won't last long, but together strong.
like those two trees out in my front yard. How did they get this far? Thriving in spite of each other instead of growing apart. Yeah, they had sun, they had rain, and each other's help to gain the strength enough to bend or else they'll break. They had room enough to grow and the courage to get too close. Alone they won't last long, but together strong. Together strong.
Beautiful.
Let's do The Wood Wouldn't Burn. How about that? This is a song, Jerry, is it Jerry, your buddy Jerry? That was here? Jerry? Jimmy? Jerry? Jerry. I don't know where he heard this song, but he reminded me of it in the break. This is a song about a guitar that belonged to a friend of mine, named Roger Marin is the friend. And he had a fan of his. He's a songwriter, and he played in a band with Fred Eagle Smith. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Fred Eagle Smith, but he was their pedal steel player and diesel mechanic. So he had good job security there. And he did a festival up in Ontario, Canada, which is where he lived. And I went up there and played this festival, and we were at his house hanging out after the festival, and he had this old guitar leaning up against his couch, and it was in terrible condition. It was, the finish was kind of bubbled up and smoke damaged, and the tuning pegs, the headstock was missing some of the tuning pegs, and it was a real mess. And he usually has pretty nice stuff, but it was this old guitar. And so I asked him, what's up with that guitar? And he told me this really great story about a fan of his that would come to his gigs and say, man, I love the way you play. I got this great old guitar. You should play this guitar sometime. But he never had the guitar with him. And so he didn't see the guy for a while, and then this woman came up to him with the guitar in the shape that I saw it in, and she gave it to Roger, and it was her husband's guitar, and they'd had a fire in their house, and so that was how the guitar got damaged. But this is the song I wrote. It's weird. It's from the point of view of the woman who I've never actually met, so who knows? But Roger gave me the facts. So this is called The Wood Wouldn't Burn. Dying wish, bought it with his bones and flesh, that you should have this old guitar. We pulled it out of the fire. He always liked the way you played, knew the sacrifice you made to leave your family for the lonely road and send the money that you made back home. It was a 1952 Gibson flat top, with blisters on the neck and ashes on the headstock, held together with some rusty wire. Wood wouldn't burn in the fire. No, that wood would not burn in the fire.
strings get rusty when he lost his touch. So down in the basement it went, with the baby books and Christmas ornaments. The fire started on the ground floor. It took my husband and my son before it crept down the basement stairs. But then I guess it just ran out of air. Before the 1952 Gibson flat top, with blisters on the neck and ashes on the headstock, held together with some rusty wire. The wood wouldn't burn in the fire. No, that wood would not burn in the fire. He was a regular at all your shows. He knew your daddy and he watched you grow into the man that you are today. Oh, how I wish he could hear you play. So bring him, think about him in your, so think about him in your sad, sad songs. On your hot licks, let him sing along. And when the crowd wants a little more, bring him out for an encore. On that 1952 Gibson flat top, with blisters on the neck and ashes on the headstock, held together with some brand new wire. The wood wouldn't burn in the fire. No, that wood would not burn in the fire. Na, 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 na. Thanks, you guys. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I don't like the feel of standing still too long. It's not a point that I'm proving. I'm not searching for a place that I belong. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I don't want to be here when you leave. I'll go ahead and beat you to the door. I'm not leaving you behind. It's only in your mind. It's not as if we're trying to keep the score. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'm a lark in search of springtime in the south. It's migration, baby, not my choosing. Just my nature keeps me moving all around. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. the happiest when I'm moving. And I don't want to be here when you leave. I'll go ahead and beat you to the door. I'm not leaving you behind. It's only in your mind. It's not as if we're trying to keep the score. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'd rather be a comet than a star. I could thumb a ride on a moonbeam all the way from Jupiter to Mars. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. I'm the happiest when I'm moving. Oh, thanks, you guys. All right, let's do a little banjo work, Don.
Okay.
That's kind of, yeah, paradoxes. Banjo work. What do you call a banjo player with a business card? You don't know?
I don't know that one.
An optimist.
A new banjo joke. I mean, that's a cause for celebration in my world, you know.
Do you have any new banjo jokes?
I don't really. I mean, I've got some, but probably the newest one I had, and this is kind of subtle. You have to think about it maybe. But what's the difference between a banjo and a chainsaw? A chainsaw has more dynamic range, which is not true. I mean, I'm a sensitive banjo player.
You are. So, I know I've told you this one. Is there anybody here that's never ever seen me play a show before? Okay, so I'm gonna tell. Okay, good. These jokes. That's good. The jokes will seem brand new to you, and the rest of you, maybe you'd like to text your pet sitter and tell him you're going to be out extra late tonight, because this is a long one. So there's this banjo player and the accordion player, and they're in a band together, and they get a call. It was New Year's Eve, and they get a call, and the guy down at the corner bar says, "Hey, man, we had a band booked for New Year's Eve and they just canceled on us. Do you guys think you could come down and play it, in a pinch?" And they were like, "Oh God, we'd love to. So they go down, they set up, they rip it up. It's a great night. Everybody loved it. And at the end of the night, they're getting paid, and the owner of the bar that's paying them says, "Man, this was really great. I have to say, I'm completely shocked that people enjoyed it so much. You think you guys would like to come back and play next New Year's Eve?" And the banjo player's like, "We'd love to. Do you mind if we leave our stuff set up?" Hey, I'm tuned up for Best of You. Can you do that one on the banjo too? Is it too much to have Two banjos.
We've done,
two
it, we've
okay.
done it that way before.
Okay.
Let me, I'm gonna put it, that's in D, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm gonna capo up and you can play it over.
Okay.
Let me,
Okay, so this is a song called "The Best of You," and it's one that are, again, for the people that haven't already heard these stories 100 times. It's a song that I wrote in the spring, actually the fall of 2013. I had been invited to play a breast cancer survivor benefit, and after she hired me for the gig, she said, "Would you write a song for our event?" You know, and I was like, "Well, I'd love to give it a try." And that was in February. The gig was in October, and so I had 8 months to write a song for this benefit. And in that 8 months, my mom got diagnosed with lung cancer. And she did the treatments, and she passed away in August. And that was a really tough time. Period. The end of that sentence. But I still had this thing hanging over my head of having agreed to write a hopeful and uplifting song about surviving cancer for this benefit. And so I was sitting there and I was getting ready to call her and just say, you know, I'll learn a Don Richmond song and it'll be great, but I'm not going to have a song written for this event. And I was sitting there on my porch, and that made me feel terrible because my mom was always such a, if you say you're going to do something, by God, you do it kind of person. And she was also very used to me leaving all of my homework assignments until the very last minute, so that was not unfamiliar territory. And I had what I call a divine shift in perspective, and what I love about the divine shifts in perspective is that you only have to shift this much to wind up in a completely different place. And the shift that I had was, of course, I don't have anything good to say about cancer. I hate cancer, but what would my mom tell me if she were sitting right next to me? And when I had that shift of perspective, this song came out all in one piece. And so it's called "The Best of You." And this is one that I recorded with Don, and I can't imagine taking this song to anybody but Don Richmond, and he did a beautiful job. It is on an album called "Remember Who You Are," which I have 0 copies to sell to you tonight. So you'll just have to take my word for it. It's a beautiful album. And
it's a beautiful album.
yeah, when I listen to this song, I laugh and cry all within about 30 seconds of each other. Don't let it get the best of you, baby. Don't let it take away your hope. When you can't see the bright side, you get out your telescope, 'cause the stars are shining so bright, but you can't see them when the skies are blue. And it's gonna take everything that you've got just to make it through. So don't let it get the best of you. Don't let it get the best of you, baby. Don't let it take away your faith. Don't blame the dealer for your hand, 'cause forever, that's just a passing phase. How on earth can you heal your wounds when you're always running out of time?
your body has betrayed you. You don't let that spirit die. Don't let it get the best of you. Don't let it get the best of you. Every single breath is borrowed. Let it in, let it out, let it go. Every single breath is borrowed. Let it in, let it out, let it go. Every single breath is borrowed. Let it in, let it out, let it go, let it go. Let it in, let it out, let it go. Don't let it get the best of you, baby. Don't let it steal away your joy. You've got love and strength and courage that no cancer can destroy. And you may lose some battles, but you will always win the war. That's why you're called survivor. That's what you're fighting for. So don't let it get the best of you. Don't let it get the best of you. Don't let it get the best of you. Lead banjo, rhythm banjo.
Oh, that's fun. I love that song.
I do too. Thank you, Don. All right. Well, I don't want to overstay my welcome. Maybe one or two more songs? Is that okay? Okay.
Do you have a request for that one, you know,
The house payment song? Let's do that one right now. Let's do that one right now.
Okay.
Y'all, this song has been such a blessing in my life. I did, this summer I did some, there was a songwriter festival in Cody, Wyoming, and a songwriter festival in Whitefish. And it was where I got to sit on stage with people that have written for Patty Loveless and Randy Travis and Waylon and the Dixie Chicks and Dwight Yoakam and you know, it was with these people that have had hits like since the late 60s. That might be me. And I was so thankful, y'all, that when they put us up there as hit songwriters, that you can't tell if it's one hit or many hits. And so I've just had a ball following this song around. And I wrote it, you know, before I knew anything about writing songs, if indeed I do know anything about writing songs now. I found a cassette tape a couple years back up at our cabin that I had sent my mom, and it was like the first 20 songs that I'd ever written. And this was number 12 on there, and I'm fairly certain I probably recorded them in the order that I wrote them. And so it's just been a joy to have something like this and to have this flag to wave. And the Chicks recorded this in 1998. It was on the radio. It was number 1 on the country charts for 4 weeks in the month of November. It was the number 1 country song the whole month of November. And that was 21 years ago. Next month, that'll be 21 years ago. So that means that people who are legal to get into bars now still might not know what this song is. But it's truly been a pleasure, and I'm glad. I like this song, so I'm glad this is the one that I will get to play every night for the rest of my life. Who doesn't know what I'm talking about? Who's never left home, who's never struck out to find a dream and a life of their own? A place in the clouds, a foundation of stone. Many precede and many will follow. A young girl's dreams no longer hollow. It takes the shape of a place out west. What it holds for her, she hasn't yet guessed. She needs wide open spaces, room to make her big mistakes. She needs new faces. She knows the high stakes. She traveled this road as a child, wide-eyed and grinning, she never tired. But now she won't be coming back with the rest. If these are life's lessons, she'll take this test. She needs wide open spaces, room to make her big mistakes. She needs new faces. She knows the high stakes. She knows the high stakes. She knows the high. As she packs her things, she feels she left something out. Her friends, her family, her dog in this house. She turns around to find her old room bare. Looks at the U-Haul, it has to fit in there. And as her folks drive away, her dad yells, "Check the oil." Mom stares out the window, she says, "I'm leaving my girl." She said it did not seem like that long ago when she stood there and